There's no differentiation whether you sit on the chair or sitting down on the cushion at all. I was going to talk about the nonsense again, but I decided not to. Last week, my Dharma friend here came over and fixed the electrical cord. And and by the way, that he asked me that if there is something else need to be fixed. I said, yes, there is. And he said, where? And I told him, here. I need to be fixed. Yes, of course. And today I cannot fix that by myself, so I'm gonna need the help from the young man. Come on up. You wanna bring your seat up here too? Sit right here, right here. Sit down. Is he in the focus yet? Great. During the Buddha time, his elder disciple, Mahakassapa, he was practicing austerity. The style of practicing is austerity. So instead of wearing a normal clothes, he came to the cemetery, picked up the clothes of the deceased people that left there, and then he sew it into a robe, and he wear that. And during the Buddha time, there were a lot of unenlightened monks too. So they did not see him how great he was. So they kind of looked down upon him. This old ragged monks, so dirty, so filthy, and they said all kind of bad things about him. And the Buddha saw that. And what he did was that, come, Pasaka, come here, sit with me. Mahapasaka didn't have a heart because of he was so respectful to the Buddha that he is nowhere to have that kind of honor. But the Buddha insisted, come, share the seat with me. So that was the story. And here, he's not Mahakassapa, but anyway, he's an intelligent young man, and I'd like to question him something, okay? So what is your name?
Angel.
Say louder.
Angel.
How old are you?
10.
10. Now, tell me what you like. List a few things that you like. Don't be shy.
I like playing outside.
Playing outside. playing games?
Yeah.
So you like playing games too? Okay, let's say that he likes to play outside, playing games. Maybe recess time in school and lunch time in school too. Of course, I like lunch time in school. Tell me a few things that you don't like.
Like when people call me names.
Like you don't like people call you by name?
Yeah, like a bad thing.
Like bad things. So you don't like to hear bad things, right? Okay, something else? Anything else? That's all. Well, my Dharma friends, his angel, he's 10. He likes playing games. And what else was I forgot?
Playing outside.
Playing outside and playing games. And he doesn't like people saying bad thing, blah, blah, blah. And thank you. You can come back. You can come back. And I wanted to fix, I want to say that all the things that he explained, he described, this is all about the self. The habit of a human being we can classify into 3 areas. The areas of like, the area of dislike, and the neutral one, neither nor like or dislike, together with the expression of the behavior, the way he walks, the way he eats, and that made up the whole angel, the whole me. That's all. If you can break down into a very simple thing to understand who is this person, you can see that. For me, I don't like to tell a lie. I like to meditate. I like pizza. I don't like to drive, such a thing like that. That's made of me. And everybody else in here has his own compartment of like, dislike, and neither nor, such a thing like that. And it's made of each of us individual. And guess what? The like and dislike is the key that takes you to every kind of troubles. It is so true. Moreover, that like and dislike is a individual mark that takes you to the next life, according to the Buddha's scriptures. So we can narrow down that the suffering comes down from the like and dislike. Whatever is happening in front of you, in front of your sixth sense door, if you don't like it, it's gonna be a trouble. If you like it, it's gonna be a trouble too. And especially that if you don't like, you react. What's next? it's gonna be a physical reaction and consequences right there. So what I need to fix is that myself, fixing an appliance, fixing a car, or fixing any utensils in the temple is piece of cake. Doesn't require much, but just a handyman, and if you have some money, you can just put out some money and then you can replace it. But the mind, each of us has our own mind, and the mind doesn't have any spare part to replace it. So we have to work with it. We have to work with what we have in order to fix it. And what do we fix? We fix the defilements, the unwholesome minds. The wholesome mind is okay. We don't need to fix that much because of it doesn't, according to the karma, the wholesome mind is still the mark for the rebirth. But for the time right now, it's okay. But the unwholesome mind is causing so much of trouble. More than an unwholesome mind is at the thinking process. Since the beginning of a life, starting out as a single cell, that single consciousness being springs out thoughts. What can I do to protect myself, to develop myself? And during that evolution for millions of years or so, whatsoever, it becomes this. And we did not stop from there. We ourselves create so much of problems in this planet. War of religions, war in the name of national interests, such a thing like that. We did not stop there. We're gonna try to bring our problems to the Mars, to the red planet, if we could. But anyway, the Dalai Lama said that nothing's wrong with evolutions. Nothing's wrong with the advance of science in all kind of fields. But in that development, there has to be a compassion that goes together in conjunction. Otherwise, we are going bonkers. And of course, that we can see that science, they can invent bombs that kill millions, just one press of a button. And also science can heal AIDS, Ebola, such a thing like that. So the only thing is that the intelligence has to go in the right direction instead of wrong direction. That's it. And in that right direction, there has to be a compassion. Yep. So going back to the single cell, up until this now, the important thing is that the mental processing, the thinking process, the mind. I keep reading news every day, and I found out that there are so many problems. And I experienced myself that from last week up until now, there are so many mental factors so many defilements that came and go, came and went, came and go. And luckily that I don't have any access to get it into a real action because of here I don't have no one to argue about. I don't have no one to fight about. So I was lucky. But you all, every morning you wake up, you see your family, you see your co-workers, you see the societies, and the chances of reactions are so great. And you come across the line, and then you made a mistake of carrying it out, become a real action, and then you regret later. Of course, it's real. So how can we fix that? Just by going back. The exercise that we shared earlier, if you look back to yourself, because of you were so busy of paying attention to the relaxation, your mind didn't work as much. Your mind is mostly empty during that process. If you take your attention out of your head area and put it somewhere within your body, then your thinking process cuts down a lot too. Yes, and then when you cut down the thinking process, actions don't come as much because of thinking process that made the action happen. So going back to yourself, to myself, and mindfully we find out what state of mind it is right now. Am I happy? Am I angry? Am I in love? Am I hating somebody? Whatsoever. Detect that. And then work with that from there. There are so many doors for we stop the process. If we can detect that mental illness, we can stop it there. But because of our past karma, we cannot stop. So the thought comes in after that ill will, the thoughts come in, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to revenge, I'm going to be blah, 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 blah. Detect that and try to stop right there. Try to stop at the level of thinking. Because if there's no thinking, you still have a bad energy. The mental illness is not going away right away. The bad energy is still there, but it's only an energy. And remember, in order to action to be carried out in real, it has to go through the process of thinking first. And now we cut down the process of thinking, so we don't create an action right away from there. Or for the very bad, we made an action real. I punched someone. Well, if it did, try to reconcile, try to solve. And in Buddhist psychology, we have a mental factor of shameness. We feel ashamed for what we did. And that feeling of shame should also cut down the degree of what we have caused. The most important thing is that no matter what level that we stop at the mental factor levels, or the thought levels, or the action level, it has become the fruit already, so we cannot fix it. The only thing we can fix right there is that don't put any more attitude into it. Because the more attitudes, the more worse. I punched somebody already. I feel sorry. Yes, but don't put more attitude that I'm going to kill myself for doing that. That doesn't help. So just remember that. Fixing myself is the most important thing. Krishnamurti said that before you fix the world, before you try to revolutionize the world, first you have to revolutionize yourself first, because yourself is the key of the problems. And if you can catch it and then you fix it from the root, from the key of the problems, you don't need to fix it out there anymore. It's automatically be peace. Because of, if you're peace, then the out there is peace as also. So just remember that. Okay, going back to the question of sleepiness, I see that you little doze now, right? There was a retreat in West Virginia. And, okay, by the way, when we sit down, meditate, there are 5 things happening, 5 hindrances. The first one is that the greed. Second one is anger. Third one is that sleepiness and lazy. Fourth one is resentment. The 5th one is doubt. We all have 5 of those when we sit down, meditate. All 5 of those. And I was a big name in sleepiness. I always fell asleep when I meditate. And I was the lazy one too. So when I go in, I look around, I chose the best seat where that I can lean my back on. Or I can lean my back to the side. Yes, I was clever. So, one day, I remember vividly that in the afternoon we start at 1 o'clock. I was sitting by the post, hollow post, because of, and I was dozing off, and then I really dozed off. My head leaned bang against the post. Boom! Everybody turned around, looked at me, and I didn't stop there. I supposed to be silent. But I kept, oh, sorry. It made me feel very bad. And from there, I determined to fight for it. I looked for the cause of sleepiness and looked for the remedy of sleepiness. It took me roughly about a year to collect all the data that from the Dalai Lama, from the monks that I interviewed to, and from the perspective of Buddhist psychologies. such a thing like that. Quite often that we'll come to the conclusion of your mind getting dulled. They don't get sharp. They don't get perceptive anymore. It's getting dull. It goes in stage of trance, and you cannot control it, and that's why you fall to sleep. And because of like this, pay attention real close. At first, when we sat down, the mind agitated a lot, and the agitation makes you stay awake. Remember that at midnight or at night time, something that woke you, and then you cannot go back to sleep because you think a lot. Same thing. At first, when we sit down, the mind's still in agitated mode, so we think a lot, so we right awake of that. But again, mind is a living being too. It's not different. It's a living being. So it has its limitation. It thinks for a while, and then it gets tired itself, and then it starts subsiding down. And during the process of coming down, if you are good enough, you're keen enough, you see that you come to the mode of relaxation, the mode of calmness, and you keep it right there. If we can keep it right there, the meditation process is going to be wonderful. But because of we can, so the momentum of going down, it goes past that, and then it goes to dozing stage. And then now you really have to fight for it. The thing is that it's very easy, extremely easy. Try this. You just need, during the dozing stage, you just need to think of someone who you hate. It will wake you right up right away. Yes. That's one way. Another way is that thinking of someone you love. Thinking of a phrase, a passage, and then try to analyze it. It takes you out of the mode of sleepiness. Or you can recharge your mindfulness. Be really, really sharp again. Just recharge it into the object. It will take you out of that too. And many monks that I interviewed said that if they get sleepy, they recite a sutra, something. All of those has the same commonality of taking your mind out of that mode. That's it. Just like flipping the channels. You know, when you watch a channel that too long, you get sleepy, but you turn to different channels that it has a different interest, and then it wakes you up right away. So same thing. Take you out of that mode. Go into some different interesting mode, and then you're right awake again. And as of right now, unless that I work so hard that my physical body that gets tired, I might get sleepy. Otherwise, that I don't get sleepy. Yeah. So sometimes Ajahn Chah, he suggested that hold your breath until that you cannot breathe, and then you let go. Then you can wake up too. Or the worst thing is that go wash your face. If after washing your face you still get sleepy, go to bed. Nothing's wrong with that. So there are a lot of remedies for curing that sleepiness. Yes. Okay, please.
I had problems relaxing my legs. Because at home I do all kinds of meditation except for sitting. That's my least favorite. You know, So I would like some hints on how to, my legs go to sleep, my hips hurt, I'm focusing on sitting up straight, and then that seems contrary to relaxing, so how would you suggest to warm up your legs?
Sometimes you concentrate too much on your back that you made it tense, but you don't know it. And well, I have a story of the legs too. Again,
That'd be good.
I don't know why I have so many stories. In Burma, that I saw a yogi that's sitting by me. He was so perfectly perfect. Bam, he sat down. 4 hours, he stood up without moving anything. Here, I move so much. I keep, wiggling in every which way that I can to alleviate my pain. And I have heard a lot of teaching from elder masters that it will go away if you endure with it. So one day I really decided, okay, let it be. The pain came. The first day that the pain came is about right there, up until here. I don't know, maybe my imagination or something, but from the legs, the pain start crawling up until here. I gave up. The next day, same thing, but this time it go all the way up until my neck. And this time I won. And guess what? Impermanence. Whatever the peak, it has to go down. No can go wrong with that. And actually, when it comes to the climax, it starts subsiding down. It's subsiding down in a spurt that it's not completely gone. It's not completely gone. That you have space. Okay, pain, really pain, and then a space of no pain. And then it come back, pain come back again. But then there's a space of no pain. At this time you can endure. You can endure because it's not so crucial anymore. It's not so in killing state anymore. And then you can endure. And because of maybe because of the mode of no pain in between that keeps you going. Some science say that when the body cannot take the pain anymore, it automatically secretes some kind of painkiller, and that's why that you don't feel pains anymore. Such a thing like that. But to me, it will come down, and then it will be up again, come down, up again. But there is a relaxation in between that you don't feel pain. And from there, that keeps you go on. And the numbness, you might have to check on the seat that you are sitting, because of it's not you only. Everybody, when we sit for so long, we block the artery of the blood, circulation of blood, and that's why that you get numbness. But you sit long enough. Now, this is very interesting. The intelligence of your body will automatically find some other channel, find some other artery for the blood to flow through. And from there, the numb will be gone if we sit long enough. That's all. Just try to escalate the pain a little more, then you will see that it will go away, or you can endure it more. It's like that. Here we have 2 sessions in the morning and in the evening. Every session is an hour and a half. Oh, it's a piece of cake. For a while you get used to it, and then you sit like nothing because of there's no effort to it. So you sit just like sitting, like playing. So, so and then until that you know, oh, an hour and a half is gone. That's it. So don't worry, it nothing to be bragging about. Yeah, everybody can do it now. Yes.
Half an hour is the problem.
Yes. Anything else?
What were those 5? Was the greed, anger,
Sleepy, or resentment, and then doubt.
doubt?
Yes. And then all of that present in a form of thinking. Only sleep that you don't think. You doze down and you don't think. And the other 4, greed you think, anger you think, resentment you think, and doubt you think.
So the doubt is the doubt in your practice? So you just think, why am I doing this?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. That question is very, very popular question. That why?
Oh, I think that often, but,
no.
I know
It's-
I'm doing it, but still, there's doubt.
Yeah, what the heck I'm doing here? Well, I have a better choice than staying home and relax and such a thing like that. But it's just a form of doubt. That's it. Don't try to find an answer to it or so, but recognize it as doubt. And remember, impermanence, it won't stick with you for good for long. It comes and then it goes. Yes, and then you keep going again. Yeah, because of like I said before, that I see there are so beautiful minds in every of you, and because of this can take you out of suffering. This can transform the society. You don't see it yet, but in the future, or at least that you, maybe this is nonsense. I'm speaking of nonsense again. Invisible beings. In Buddhist scriptures, there are invisible beings that can read the minds, and this is what we are doing. They can see that. They really appreciate that. So that's how you transform. Not only the visible society out there yet, but at least that the invisible beings that can see, and then they're very happy. They are very supportive to what you're doing. Don't believe me. It's nonsense. Nonsense. So it's a very, very, very popular question. It's not what the heck I'm doing here. What the heck I turned myself into this monkhood and such a thing like that. But for the cause of, for the sake of, every being out there, we do it. Yes. If you merge yourself, if as of right now you merge yourself out there in the society, who knows that what you can do? But if you're here, you don't have the mode of anger. You just have the mode of compassion. You have the mode of mindfulness. So you don't create any more bad karma. If you go out there, you interact, you see the person that you don't like me. When I see the person I don't like, ooh boy, boiling, my blood is boiling. And you can't avoid that. Yes. So It's good to be here. Oh, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 60 minutes per hour, 60 seconds per minute. You are out there enough. Spend some time here. Yeah, it's okay. Oh, everything out there will be out there. Ignorance, greed, anger, whatever, it will be out there. So we're not gonna miss that. Yes, please.
Yeah, back to the question of sleeping.
Yes.
Yeah, I find for myself, if I keep my eyes open, I'll stay awake.
That's one way too.
Yeah, it's obvious.
Yes.
And if I close my eyes, I go to sleep very quickly.
You open your eyes, you have more access to contact with out there with the objects of the sense base, so you don't get sleep. But when you close your eyes, gradually that this is come to the what we call the concentration. When we close our eyes, gradually that we shut down the five senses. First, when you close your eye, you shut down already, and then gradually that you don't hear as well, you're shutting down. You don't feel that you breathe in. You don't feel that your mouth is contacting, your mouth is tasting anything, and then you forget the body, and that's why that it goes to the mode of sleepiness. But for a skillful meditators, they use that one to go into the concentration, to access the jhanas, stages. Well, that would be another nonsense. Would be another nonsense, yes.
Yeah, when you sleep, do you have a dream or not?
Sometimes.
Yeah, I usually do. So if I'm meditating, I go to sleep, I usually have a dream that I can remember.
Quite often, because of when we meditate, we have a mode of controlling the mind. And when we control what? When we control, we suppress it. And when, just like that, you suppress something, and then when you open it up, it's going to burst out again. And that's why that normally that if we don't know how to relax the mind, not to suppress, but relax the mind, then we quite often we enter some weird dreams. Yeah.
I notice that when I'm watching television with my husband sometimes, I'm sure I'm watching the TV, I'm right there in that program, and he goes, "Are you asleep?" And I say, no. And he'll say, "Well, what happened?" I go, "I don't know." Because I was sleeping. I've noticed when I meditate, I know I'm meditating, but it's like,
It's not so clear.
Yeah, it's not so clear.
Your
It's like-
perception is not really catching on what is going on, and especially that like this one. Like I said before, that I'm very interested in the mind, so I don't pass out any opportunity. In the temple during the ceremony, an elder man beside me, he passed out. We had to call 911. Paramedics came, revived him. My first thing is that I asked him that, you know what's going on? You know that you passed out? He kept saying, "No, I don't pass out at all. I was so, I know everything. I was right here." But he passed out. Paramedic came in, revived him. And I told him that he passed out. No. I wasn't passing out or anything. I was clearly awake. So it's just like that, shutting down the five senses. The only sense that left is that the thought process, and then somehow the mind that works, and then when you're aware of thought process, and then you don't know that you're passing out. So it's same thing like this one. So maybe that you can not that bad.
They're totally aware.
Yes,
They're
yeah, yeah.
aware, and
We
they don't
thought that we're totally aware, but we are not.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little off topic, but maybe related. There's something called sleep latency.
Susan Layton.
Latency, yeah, some people like me, if I lie down right now, I would go to sleep like in 2 minutes.
Right.
And at night I go to sleep very quick. And there are other people, I guess they have more energy, and they don't just go to sleep real quick. So, yeah, right now if I lay down, I would probably go to sleep if it was quiet.
Mhm.
It's called sleep latency.
Hmm. It's good that you can lay down and sleep right away. You don't have to. The problem is that going back, when we lay down, try to make a habit that don't think too much, focus on your relaxation, especially with the relaxation, it will take you to sleep very fast. Very fast. Yes. You keep relaxing, and then the mind subsides down to a threshold that you don't feel anything, you doze off and you don't know. It's very, very peaceful. Yes.
Yeah, I have one more question.
Yes.
Are you suggesting it's better for us not to have so many likes and dislikes when you were talking before?
Detect that. Detect that what you like and what you don't like, and then the like and don't like that makes you create likes and don't like stirs the emotions, and then their thoughts arise, and then if the thoughts arise, then there will be a chance of a real action that comes, physical actions. So because of like and dislike is the fruit of what you have created in the past already. You cannot stop it. The only thing is that you detect it, and then you try to not working with it. Gradually that it will subside, go away, and from there that you can hone down your past karma too.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Anything else? It's so great. I'll tell you a secret. I have a psychic power that I can levitate, but there is a catch to it. When I levitate, if I can see any kind of beauty, I will be crash landing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't look at the trees.
Yeah.
And here I see so many beautiful minds, so I might be crash landing. So I don't perform that. Joke. May the divine, the devas, protect you. May we all attain a perfect wisdom, perfect nibbana, and be benefit to all beings. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all, folks.